Shri Sudhendu Sinha, Advisor Infrastructure Connectivity and Electric Mobility, Niti Aayog. Mr. Sinha has experience of over 30 years in operations, infrastructure planning, coordination and management at field and policy making levels in Indian Railways with considerable success and appreciation. National Award for Outstanding Service in Ministry of Railways, Government of India in 2006. He has training and enrichment from Japan, Malaysia, Germany and the US. Currently, he is advisor to Niti Aayog, the apex think tank of Government of India. May I please invite Shri Sudhendu Sinha. Please give him a huge round of applause.
Thank you. So at the onset, let me first congratulate Messe Frankfurt because they have been organizing, events all through. And the themes that they choose, that is very, very aspirational, sustainability being one of them, mobility is another one of them. And second factoid, which I don't know, many of you might not be knowing, that when the COVID time was over, then probably Messe Frankfurt, they were one of the first few to have organized a conference in physical form immediately after COVID. So that was sometimes in 2021, and it was right across the road at Le Mardon. It was organized there. You heard about sustainability, sustainable mobility. This word, sustainability, sustainable mobility, and the other cognates, energy transition, mitigating the ill effects of climate change, these are going to stay for at least next 7 odd decades. So it is, in a way, I am giving you a heads up that you can identify that where exactly the career lies. This is the area, this is the theme internationally. This is going to play a lead role. So if you see the Prime Minister's speech, there is a significant focus on this Independence Day speech. There is a focus on sustainability, mobility. He talks of hydrogen. And yesterday too, before the cabinet, the way it was being told, PM e-bus seva was unfolded, the contours were explained. In fact, on 15th of August, the day before yesterday, one of the electric bus companies, it was giving an offer, just a promotional one, that you can go from Delhi to Agra at a cost of ₹1. So that was the offer. So what I'm just trying to say is, it was resonating with one of the equivalent in, say, Indonesia, where they organized what they called Damri safaris kind of thing. So Damri is basically, there is state road transport, national road transport is there, and national bus service is there, and they organized from their capital, from at 2 strange locations, they organized it, and it was almost 800-kilometer long stretch. It was organized for 2 days just to tell people that yes, going even far on bus transport is doable, provided, of course, all the infrastructure is in position. You are aware that our national government is committed to taking mobility and on a different energy level, and of course decarbonizing transport. So if India is contributing, let's say, 7% of greenhouse gas emission, and if 14% is transport out of this, in fact it is much less than the international contribution of transport to greenhouse. So India's contribution in our contribution is 14%, and in this 14% there is close to 78-80% by the road transport, and there also the heavy vehicles contribute almost close to 40%. So this is how the scenario goes. So it is obvious that we have to go for decarbonizing transport. We have to go for a mobility system that is clean, green, user friendly. My sense is that in a couple of, maximum maybe another 5 odd years or so, two concepts will have their home among the transport users. Not more than, say, 5 years kind of thing. One is the mobility will be taking shape as a service. So mobility as a service, that would come. And the second is that the transit-oriented development would come. I always give example that if you are in Western country, nobody asks you how you came. So that is not a question. In India, that is the first question. That is how you open the conversation. Kaise aaye the? And if you say, bus se aaye the, then the man gets into absolute, his things, bata diye hote, gaadi bhej dete. So the idea is that using public transport, shared mobility is considered to be infra-dignity. Not because of anything else, but because the quality of services are not upscale. Because the style, the comfort, the luxury that you can have in your own vehicle, it is way ahead than that of the shared car or pooled car or maybe, the public transport. But just think that in Connaught Place, the outer circle, we are just, 500 meters away from here. If all the vehicles are hypothetically transformed to, let's say, buses, and they are running to their full, what a reduced level of congestion it could be. This is what is needed. And I'm sure in times to come, this is what is going to be our future. There's no way out. There's no other way out. Because internationally, they have done it like that. The access charges which have increased, for example, in Singapore. Similarly, internationally, the restrictions on parking slots are there during the different time periods. So it is a kind of general understanding is there that you should be gradually nudged towards shared transport, public transport, the rapid transport systems. This is what is going to be our future. And of course, I am sure that during the course of the day today and tomorrow, a lot of deliberations would be held. I will be extremely happy if Messe Frankfurt shares some of the 3-4 kind of innovative suggestions that come out of these deliberations so that we can deliberate them at our own level. So Vishal Kapoor is here, ESL is there, our ministry is right by our side. We have got Maruti. I'm extremely happy, when Maruti is by our side, the country moves fast. They have been late to be on the dais, but it's good that they are here. So because Maruti is like the Volkswagen of German, they are people's car. And they see the big numbers. Once they are there, that stream is there. And of course, Mumbai public transport system, that is one of the, I would say that is one of the most premier one, and 16,000 fleet that they have mentioned. Probably you have got a big role to play. I would suggest, put it this way, that the way Mumbai, that Maharashtra, and the way Delhi moves, that becomes a kind of, landmark, that become a lighthouse for the entire nation to move forward. So probably you have a great role to play. My idea is that my intention is that you must have a leap of faith, and with electric vehicle, or maybe, I'm not too much finicky about it. So if you go for any mode of transportation system which is decarbonized, that is going to have a major impact. And let me tell you, internationally, public transport system, they run into losses. Internationally, they run into losses. Whenever that wafer-thin advantage comes, the whole company sits together and thinks that there is something wrong in the transport system. Probably they must give it some sort of concession. So once I was trying to find out, and I could find out that internationally, there is not even a single country that does not give concessions. So it is a concessional day, concessional hour, people-specific concessions are there for the students, differently abled, for the on gender. On a particular day, for example, you see Fridays are, it's a free transport for. So the idea is that transport has to be an enabler. You make them move. So maybe that if you start looking very hard on your balance sheet, that would be very, very difficult. And I do stand for when you say that government has to pitch in and think of giving some sort of viability gap funding, some sort of support. And you too have to, also will have to think that beyond the fare box collection, what other could be the innovative ways of raising revenue. So by the time in next 2 days, whatever innovative suggestions are there, please share them with us. Thank you.